Welcome to episode 255 of Real Therapy, the place where we talk about how movies make us feel. I'm your host, Donavon Thompson, with my co-host,
Daniel Wingfield.
and today we are discussing episode 3 of Peacemaker Season 2 and episode 5 of Alien Earth. This is Real Therapy, and you know what that means.
They're gonna talk about how it makes them feel. They're gonna watch all the movie reels, cause it's Dan and Don in Real Therapy. It's real.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. It's Friday. You know, we don't always record. Excuse me. We don't always record on the days we release, but we have been a couple. The past 2 weeks we had just because of Peacemaker, because it drops at like 9 p.m. on a Thursday, and we want to talk about it. But it's Friday. I like that it's Friday. I like Friday, so I'm doing all right.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was thinking it's cool, like being like that close to release date, and then and also releasing the day we record, which again is like that never happens. But
It rarely does. Yeah. But it's been
if
working out.
if this was our full-time job, we could do that on the reg.
We
But
could.
it's not. Yeah, and if you
No.
want it to be our full-time job, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/.
I just want to say I was about to jump on that. You just didn't give me
I know,
time.
I know,
Okay.
I know. I saw the opening because I created the opening, and I was like, I want to hop in there before you can. And so I can take the spotlight for a second.
Go for it.
YouTube.com/@RealTherapyPod. And of course, all podcast services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, really anywhere you get all your podcast needs. We're there. 5-star reviews only, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. As
Please.
mentioned in the opening, we are discussing episode 3 of Peacemaker Season 2 and episode 5 of Alien Earth. Two great shows, and it feels like, and for me, 3, because I'm watching Dexter Resurrection. Tonight's the finale
Ooh.
of this new season, and so I'm eating good lately, and I'm eating very good
Yeah.
with Peacemaker. So let's talk about episode 3. You know, as I was watching it, I was getting not sick to my stomach, but I was getting worried because I was like, oh man, we have to be like halfway or almost over halfway. For some reason, I was thinking this of the season, and like, there's not enough episodes. I need more episodes. Not because I
Yeah.
was like worried about the story not panning out correctly, because I was getting sad that I was going to only get so much more. I was like, oh, this is only episode 3, and I was like, well, I feel a little better about it. And it feels so good when you watch an episode and you feel the episode winding down. It feels good and bad. You're like, oh, I'm going to have to wait a
Yes.
whole other week to watch what happens.
Yeah. And
And that,
James, this
yeah.
show does the wind. I mean, he almost every episode feels like it ends with a musical montage, like we're in Lost. Which, hey, Lost did the end episode musical montages better than anybody before this, at least. So,
This is great.
my favorite one in Lost is when it's playing. I think it's Coldplay, and then like Hurley's like Walkman goes out, and that was the last time we ever had a song at the end of an episode. I think like that. Like we're like listening, and
That's
you just
brilliant.
think it's a montage, and then his Walkman just like runs out of batteries. He's like, damn it, and the music cuts, and the episode's over.
What an amazing story thing to like. Do they continue that? There's no music like when they're
I
on the island.
I think that's the last time we get like a
needle drop.
musical montage outro. Like that's what every episode for like the first couple seasons was just like, let's check in on every character we saw this episode and see and kind of like silently resolve whatever their arc was or whatever it is, you know.
What a sad moment when your Walkman goes out on your island.
Oh, it was probably a CD player. It probably wasn't a Walkman, but either way.
Probably was.
Um,
I'll say,
back to-
speaking of music. Well, speaking of music, I've been like really melancholic lately about Ozzy Osbourne. And when Dreamer come on,
Sure.
I was like, oh, I was like, James Gunn, you got me this time, man. I just love that song,
I
and then
mean, he
love
had
that
to have
moment.
picked that before
Yeah, I
he
think so.
passed away. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
kind of
he
a synchronicity, but.
It was.
Yeah,
but I
back-
love that moment. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, like, back to the episode. I mean, it just keeps knocking it out of the park. I know, like, we talked about this last week, in the first week we talked about Peacemaker, but like, James Gunn knows what he's doing with this kind of character and this kind of tone and this kind of story. He's just the best at it, probably, with this tone, with this kind of mix of humor and violence and action and thriller. Like, I don't know anybody that can mix these up as well and have them hit on like all cylinders as well as James Gunn, at least not right now. And so he continues to do that, but then he also just continues to give what I always love, which is this deep, like we're just diving into the psyche of these characters. We're just diving into their fears and their desires. And like, I'm just, I like, it's amazing. Like, it feels like one of those shows where you're just watching it boil. And normally watching water boil, they use that as a term to sound like boring, right? Watching water boil is like a way you like go crazy because you're bored. But it feels like watching water boil, that's the most exciting water that's ever boiled.
There's
You know what I'm
pasta
saying?
in that water. There's pasta
Right.
boiling in that water.
Yes, it's going to be spaghetti and meatballs, and you know that. And
Oh
so
yeah,
it's
dude. I
like,
love me some pasta.
and so like the end of the episode, you know, he's walking out feeling like he's finally found his place in the universe. He just has to go wrap up some stuff, which I've already, in reading some comments, I already have some theories about that universe that I
Sure.
was not aware of before that. And we can get into that if we want to. But anyway, I can't get enough. Even Catherine last night, she was like, I think this is my favorite show right now. Like just in general, like if I
Yeah.
could if I could just have unlimited episodes of any show, it would just be this more. Because it just
I agree.
It's just great.
It's got brevity to it where I'm loving Alien Earth, and we'll get to that in here a little bit.
Yeah.
But like there is brevity to this, and the comedy really. I mean, it's fun, you know.
Yes.
And I think that it maybe just that kind of content's easier to consume on the regular, and so I think right now it's my favorite between the two, even though I do love Alien Earth, and so
It's really nice to have both. It's really nice to
really-
have both because
oh,
like it feels like if all we were watching was Alien, it's just like, whoo, you know.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Well, hey, real quick, you mentioned we might be jumping ahead, but you mentioned like some theories.
Yeah.
I just keep suspecting because I feel like I have a pulse on James Gunn and his humor. You know,
Yeah.
I really think there's gonna be something like you guys, you guys have sex with your clothes on. There's something weird about the universe that's so weird. Like he's gonna like whenever he rejects that universe, he's gonna be like, "You guys fuck fish on Saturdays." Like it's some weird thing. You know what I'm
I don't think
saying?
it's weird. I think I've seen commenters say they've not seen a single person of color in any of the wide
They're
shots.
all
They're saying
racist.
it's Nazi. It's Nazi Earth.
Oh,
Like it's
there
like
you go.
it's
Yeah.
like the government is bad. The freedom fighters he just killed are actually
All
good guys.
good. That's it, dude.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
damn.
once you realize that, like, oh, that's obviously what it is.
Yeah.
His life is great, but the world sucks. That's like that's basically the trade off.
You know what? You know what they would do? They would bring in the guy who dies at the end of season one, who's who's black guy. I can't think of his name, and
wait.
he'd be like a freedom fighter or something that survived. And it's like he was a good guy. He was the alien guy. He would end up being an alien at the end of season one.
You're talking about Merv or Mern or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was in the bad guy in Guardians 3,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be smart to bring him in as like a freedom fighter that's obviously survived
Sure.
this like quote unquote Holocaust? That's what I would do. Now
Or
that
they
you
have
said
to
that,
they have to like find the butterflies, and that's how they defeat the Nazi Earth is by unleashing the butterflies or something like that. I could see.
yeah,
that
or the butterflies took over, and that's why it's not Nazi Earth.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It would be weird if an alien species was racist, but yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, who cares? But
Anyway,
you're 100% like now. I'm like, well, that's it. No, those guys were
It's
definitely
clearly
good.
that. I mean, the people he killed are called the Sons of Liberty. Isn't that like what the Revolutionary Warriors and like the Revolutionary War? I think like there was like Sons of Liberty was like a group in like in the 1700s when we were like leaving like a part of the Boston Tea Party and shit like that. Like and so it's
I think Metal Gear Solid 4 when I hear Sons of Liberty, that's the subtitle for that. But I'm sure you're correct. I don't know my
I'm sure it
history
came
that
from
well.
before that. Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, no, that's exactly. So like, I thought the same thing. I was like, there's gonna be something about this universe that's like, well, this is not a good place after all,
Yeah, well, and it's such an obvious one, but it'll be such an like, wait, you guys are all Nazi. It's just like this, like, oh,
Well, it'll be that
then he's
moment where it clicks for him, where he can just start mauling
murdering
everybody.
people. Yes.
Yeah,
And I will say one of the best parts of the show. I wouldn't say Peacemaker is. Its
Spoilers,
action is
everyone.
why I
Sorry
watch
if we
it.
guessed the show.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
yeah.
If you're watching this, yeah.
It's in the title, spoiler review, episode 3.
Exactly.
Go on.
I don't think of Peacemaker as like an action show. There is action, and a lot of times it's gory and fun, but it's not like that's why I'm watching it. That's a nice little spice in between. But the sequence of like Chris like clearing the building was so fun, and so I think part of the fun is like you're realizing like, oh, in a world where Chris's dad isn't a jerk, he's not as good as a fighter because his dad didn't raise him from birth to kill everything, right? So a nice dad meant Chris is apparently he's only good with his suit, right? That was the implication from the dialogue.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he can't do anything without his suit. You know, he's an Iron Man type, and he's also like a womanizer, a jerk. Like he's like a really unlikable guy, clearly. So like watching them all be amazed that like what, how is he like, and watching, I think that's the other thing is you can forget what Chris's abilities are because those aren't the point of the show. The point of the show is not how awesome Peacemaker is and how good he is at fighting. And so, you know, even in this first season, we get like the helmet moments where he's got these cool helmets, but it's like he still kind of feels insignificant compared to the metahumans that we're used to seeing in DC, right? Like this guy would be smashed like a bug, like thing. Like he's what can he do? And I think what I liked about this was just like, oh yeah, he's like a perfect killing machine, and we know that from the Suicide Squad. Like that's literally that's the intro that Waller gives him is he can kill like anything is a weapon, right? We've heard that, and it's kind of oh yeah, anything's a weapon. That's how many guys is that their thing, right?
Yeah.
How many Batman villains is that's literally their anything's a weapon. But to see him do that was really fun and kind of remind you, oh yeah, this guy's basically a one-man like SWAT team. You know what I mean? Like this guy, you throw him into a hopeless situation and he'll probably figure out a way to do it. You know what I mean? And I think that it was nice to be reminded of like, oh yeah, he's good at what he does. Like he's competent in a way that's like cool and actiony and stuff like that. I like that.
No, I agree. And there was a lot of cool kill scenes there. One of my favorite was when he picked up the guy with the two pencils. And why that's cool is not the pencils. It's cool because the guy he's firing the gun because it's because he's like short circuiting basically. That's a cool detail, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the shit I like right there.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And you're 100% great. Whenever he was right before he made the Jason Bourne jump, I was literally there was a moment in my brain, and I remember it because it was so significant for me. I was like, what are his powers again? I was like, oh yeah, he's like a super marksman. Like he can do anything with any weapon. And as he jumped, I was thinking that because we hadn't really seen him in a while, even though I've seen the movies countless times. But I agree.
I would say too, it's like those movies aren't really highlighting, like he's in the first Suicide Squad movie, he's a joke. He's an antagonist in a way by the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, yeah, you see him shoot stuff, but everybody's shooting stuff. And so it doesn't really feel significant. You know what I mean? And I think, and even just, I mean, I do feel like in superhero world, bad guy that's good with guns is kind of boring. Like that's, when there is a world of superhuman possibilities, he's really good at shooting. That's just going to be low on I'm interested in that character list.
Well, it's boring because almost 99% of those movies or TV shows that you're talking about were rated PG-13. You know what I'm saying?
But even just at a just zoom out. I know nothing about the character.
No,
Here's this character. He's good with guns. Here's this character. He can turn into anything. Like it's like.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that is a huge advantage by making it rated R is that you can do 100%. More visually interesting things. Like, and one thing that really shocked me, and I want to get into the Rick Flag part here in a second, is when they're on the bench, and then it was just like a great moment where great shot. Explosion. Great everything. It was like, whoa, that got me too, you know, like
and
that
fucking hilarious. Like it was like one of those things where you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like I noticed the people running first. I'm like, they must be running from something. Like something's about to come, and like they have to fight something, and he just trips and and like they're like, oh shit, Terry. You're like, whatever, and then you're like, what? The guy just had bomb vest and he just tripped and fell. Like that was
oh shit, Terry.
Yeah, like it's like those are the moments where like it's like. It's funny in these ways where it's not necessarily trying to hang a lantern on it or be like, haha, joke. It's just like throwing them at you in between these action scenes. Yeah, that was a great moment.
Oh, that's funny. It is great. I do want to talk about, and you mentioned like him being an antagonist in the first movie or the second movie, whatever, first movie. But of course, when we got the first real movie, we got all the scenes, recapped in a meaningful way of him killing Rick Flag Jr.
Yeah.
And then we get Rick Flag back, and there was rumors that Joel Kinnaman was coming back to play the role. Joel Kinnaman in like press last year has been pretty adamant, like, no, I don't want to return, like I'm dead, I don't want to come back for whatever. But it sounds like he was just playing the game.
It was PR too. Yeah,
I guess so. And I think it feels like every actor who works with James Gunn, they just love him, and so like they'll probably do anything he asks.
Seems like, again, he's like that creative that's like, if you have a good idea and it's better than his, he'll go with it. He's not this like, You know, he just seems like that kind of guy, like the best idea wins in the room, that kind of creative. Just everything we've heard about his process with scripts and all this kind of stuff. And so like 100%, that is who artists like to work with. Artists like to work with other artists that get it, that aren't trying to fit everything into like a, you know, like a perfect organized thing. It's like, no, art is organic. As we know, some of the best ideas for films were never in the plan. They just come about because you're on set and you see something and it inspires you and then you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like even like, you know, famously the Rosemary Baby shot, right? The shot where it's framing her outside of like the doors framing her out. And that famous moment where like all the audience like tried to lean over in the audience to see around it. They never like that was a not planned shot. Like they just did it in the moment and it was like it's one of the it's a very famous shot in cinematography, right? And so yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I would love to work with James Gunn. By the way, James, if you're hiring,
Mr. Gunn.
Mr. Gunn, excuse me. Yes. I kind of wish that like America knighted people like England does when they just do make a bunch of money or whatever the qualifications are these days, so we could be like Sir Gunn.
The ultimate capitalist society, which you make a lot of money, you just become knighted. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
It. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I think yes, it seems like he's open to ideas, but I think James Gunn's real talent is that he comes in with a specific vision and like he has a goal and a task.
He knows exactly what he wants.
I think so, yeah. And you know, back to Rick Flag, it was interesting to kind of see this version of Rick Flag who was super insecure.
Yeah. And even just it's so like the way he held his posture in the costume made him look scrawny. And like, you know, that guy didn't lose weight for this role. Like it was a brilliant use of like, that's some awesome, like, what do you call it? It's like blocking or like physical acting of like, it actually made him seem like a wimp. And if you know him from the first movie, he's not, you know, he's like the good guy action star, you know what I mean? Like, and so,
and he dies, which is crazy. Yeah.
And it's hard. It's like, but it also, it's the perfect thing for that movie, but it's also like part of you wants, but it's exactly what James Gunn would do. He would kill off the normal star character to let the other people like take the stage. But yeah, no, I thought it was brilliant acting from him and more just he felt transformed. Like he felt like a different person. And I thought that was just very, like, I was sold on it. I was like, this isn't the Rick Flag. And it's funny too, because they kept calling him Jarhead. Right. Yeah. Like, so they're like, they're setting him up. Oh yeah. It's same old Rick Flag. He's a Marine. He's a, you know, whatever. No, he's like a behind the desk Jarhead.
He's army. You know,
he's
an
Army
analyst. Is what she said. Yeah. Not Marine Army.
And he's like an analyst or something. He's not like, doesn't seem like he's on the front lines. So
it's hilarious. He hits the trash can and he sits at another guy's desk.
He's like, who put this there? Clean this. Like, it was a great moment of like that. Like, yeah,
it seems so real. Like, how do you fake hitting a trash can by accident?
Oh no, it's absolutely real. I mean, it's like, it's
just so good. Really but yeah, it's another gentle reminder that we lost Rick Flag Jr. In the movie. And I will say, like, if I had one complaint, and I kind of felt this in episode 2, just because I didn't feel it in episode 1, is even though we had Rick Flag Jr., and that's important to kind of set up this emotional through line of like Rick Flag Sr.
Cares.
Yeah, but I wish we had saw Rick Flag Sr. in this episode. You know, like, I mean, it's not a complaint because, you know, I don't know where they're going and they used the episode wisely, but it kind of felt a little repetitive. Like now we're getting Argus back together and we're going back to the house again.
And
it kind of felt like, okay, well, what was the point, you know, other than just kind of stalling that side of the story to have Peacemaker do that? And
I would say it's comic relief too. Like all the humor.
Yeah,
the guy.
The duck thing
what's the guy?
Brilliant.
Yeah, but he when he was ranting, he was like, he told me it was a duck or whatever. He's like, is it funny? Very. Is it like that was my favorite line just because he was so serious and he delivered it perftly and like I was
use my disability against me. Yeah. Yeah, he told me it was a duck. Yeah. Well, last season I didn't love Vigilante and I warmed up to Economos, but I like their dynamic this season the most because I think Vigilante's used more sparingly this season, and it's more just of like he's
just comic relief to pop in and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's not really like someone who is integral to like the plot like season 1 was.
Yeah, but I will say he had one of the funnest moments in season one, which is when he sits at the table with like Peacemaker's dad and just like, let's name our favorite black person that contributed to history. I'll start like
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Like, and I still love his energy, and I love the whole thing of like, ask me any spider fact. I know any spider fact. I know it. I know spiders. Like
Yeah.
that I'm because he feels like a kid, like in that way, where like a kid watches a YouTube video and now he's an expert. Now I could probably get a degree in spiders if I wanted to. You just test me right now, like it's so.
Yeah, and he's always wrong.
Nailing.
He's always like, fuck. Like you got
He's
it
like,
wrong.
how many eyes do a tarantula have? Well, eyes come in pairs, so too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, hey, it just dawned on me as we were talking. His dad obviously is like KKK in season one, and he's like white supremacist, right?
Yeah.
Racist guy. Is that even more evidence that that's what the society is, and like they won in this universe? Like his ideology
That would
won,
make
or is
sense.
it?
I mean, that
Or is
would
it
make
something
sense.
else where it's like the opposite of his dad? Where it's what I'm saying? Like, but I now I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking it's like it's similar in the fact that his dad is the same, but he loves his son.
But it's a
But
world that
it's accepted to be that way.
it glorifies that mindset. So
Yeah,
growing up in a world that everyone says his dad is right,
exactly.
it fixes the relationship to a degree.
It feels like that's it, right? I feel like he figured it out.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
think about this, but I think that's correct. Yeah.
And I'll say, just thinking about if we're dealing with real like if it's like these are literal Nazis, not just racists. Like if they're just labeled as generic racist, or if it's like, no, this is literally the Nazis, or they're Nazis. Gosh, that makes me think, could we find a way to get a GI robot cameo in like that last
Oh my
final episode?
goodness,
Like he looks over and he's in the room and he like
dude, GI
killing
robot
Nazis?
coming in. Oh my goodness.
are we gonna kill some Nazis, General? Like that, wouldn't that be perfect? And he's
It
already
feels-
set it up. He's already set it up in Creature Commandos. Rick Flag knows about him. Rick Flag
this
knows.
doesn't happen,
What
I'm
does
gonna be
Rick Flag
disappointed.
calls him in? I mean, Rick
That's what I'm
Flag is
saying.
aware of GI Robot.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, there's like, and I
and
can
we have
imagine.
Nazis.
I can
I got a
imagine
guy.
the bridge being open, and they're kind of like a world where black people are,
Yeah, like they're coming
more
to
equal?
invade or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we got to take care of that situation, and then yeah, Rick Flag Senior's like, I got something for you guys.
It feels too perfect.
It feels like it yeah, it feels too perfect.
What I'm
That's
hurt.
fine.
Well, I hope I'm not getting my hopes up for something that isn't.
I think you did. I think you really jacked me up for this season by accident. So
This is
it's
what we
done.
do. This is what we do. We
Yeah.
come up with better ideas than they end up going with. Now, James Gunn, usually not the case. Marvel, yes. Yeah, I mean, but man, G.I. Robot was my favorite character, I think, and his episode was probably my favorite episode from Creature Commandos. Just
Yeah, Alan Tudyk, man. No, it wasn't Alan Tudyk. Who was it? It was Alan.
No,
He
it
did
was his
both.
brother, wasn't
Doctor.
Was it?
I think it was Sean Gunn.
John
yeah.
Gunn. I think he was G.I. Robot. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh man, Dr. Phosphorus. I love Dr. Phosphorus, and I love
Oh, yeah.
G.I. Robot. I think
He's
didn't
just
G.I.
such a
Robot get
puppy dog, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
he's just like, all he wants to do is kill Nazis. There's something so
killing
cute
Nazis.
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the way he says it, like 1950s,
Yes.
killing Nazis.
Yes,
It's great.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
it's so
yes.
good.
Or the moment in the final episodes, General, are these Nazis? You know what I mean? Where he's like, I finally
He's like
go
hopeful.
ham. Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Can I go
the
play?
best moment when they're cross cutting that between the flashback where he's been like taken to this like neo-Nazi group and murders them all. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that feels like that's kind of where the season is going,
And what a
And,
fun shebang! Like, didn't he say like the final couple episodes just shit goes wild kind of thing?
apparently it's like there's big cameos, which that could be G.I. Robot, and it feels
Well,
like
I mean, like, also, could we get a Bizarro or like a Nazi Superman? Could
I
we
was
be
thinking
getting?
it. I was
I mean,
thinking
like,
it. Yeah,
there's so many things we could end up. I mean, yeah, and also I saw there was a rumor that Peacemaker's going to be in Men of Tomorrow, right? That there's a rumor
yeah.
he
I
may
mean,
be
there's
casting
gonna
that.
be every rumor ever for that.
But we know that the end of this show is directly setting that up. He's said that many
Yeah.
times.
He said it sets up the universe for sure. Yeah.
So if it would make sense for Peacemaker to be involved if he's part of the catalyst that starts whatever the next big event is.
Well, well, maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking. I guess it's Idris Elba's Bloodsport. I think he's in prison because he shot Superman with the kryptonite bullet. I was thinking it was Peacemaker. It's not. It's
That's why
Bloodsport.
he
Never
was.
mind.
Yeah, that's why he was in prison originally. Yes,
Yeah, it was one
but
of the
he's
reasons.
out.
Yeah.
He like they all deuced out at the end of that movie. They all like were like we're off the grid.
Yeah, James. If I could have one character like back, it's Bloodsport.
Idris
James
Elba's so
James Gunn
good.
says that he wants him back in some way, and I'm like, please give him his own. I mean, I love that character. And he was
Yeah,
a cool, and he was cool. He was just
but
he was
he would be a
like
great character in
xenomorph
like a team up
inspired.
movie. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
he would
yeah,
be
he's
great.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, so no, I think obviously season two, episode three here is super fun. It's fantastic,
it's
and
exceeding my expectations as a show, and like I
yeah.
had high expectations, man.
And I gotta say, I like this. I like this opening dance number better. Like I every time I watch it again, I'm like, I just like this. I like personally like the song
Yeah,
better. It's
yeah,
just it's more my vibe. But
yeah.
also, I don't know. It feels good watching that
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
opening.
No, it is. The first season opening is more just like hilarious, humorous, right? And like
Yeah,
ridiculous. This feels so much more like real interpretive dance. Like we're like getting we're hinting at the arcs for these characters with their dances. You know what I
yeah,
mean? In a way that just feels fun and cool. I also was like, the first time I was like, who's that white haired guy in like the group shot at the end? And then Michael Rooker showed up. I'm like, of course Michael
yeah, yeah,
Rooker's in
yeah.
this. Of course he's in it again.
What an interesting role to give him. Also, and it's like, I mean, he was, in the Suicide
Kill all the
Squad, and
gators in the area. No, just or
yeah,
all the eagles in the area. It's like no, just this
yeah,
one.
no, just this one. He's like, damn it. Yeah, it's what an interest. You would feel like you would want to give him a more substantial role, but
James
also
Gunn
they're
loves
friends.
Michael Rooker. Yeah,
Oh,
they are like
hey, I do too.
he's great in every role. I mean, he doesn't miss. He doesn't
He's
miss.
fun. I mean, he's what a great character in the Guardians movies. I mean, he's a
Oh,
truly an anchor being in those
he
movies.
is. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so episode four is next week. Well, I'm sure we'll be diving back into that
Can't wait.
again. Let's talk about Alien episode five. This one's interesting because I didn't know anything about it going into it
Yeah,
until right beforehand. I heard it was it was basically a prequel episode, and
sure.
it was we discussed. I thought it was kind of odd in episode one that they kind of had this like really choppy kind of way of getting us from the ship to the Earth, right? And we discussed like it was nice kind of bypassing that. It was kind of in a way, and I was kind of more concerned about just the style of editing and like I just there was some things there. But
Hmm.
this is interesting where it's like, and I do believe this episode was planned as episode five. I don't believe it was episode one. And I think it was smart too because if you had done this episode first, then everyone would have been like, oh, it's just trying to copy Alien. Like this is a
And it would have felt
lot.
slow. It
It
would
would
have
have
felt
felt
like it
slow.
would have felt like this. Oh, this is going to be a slow show.
Yeah.
It
My
would have
first
given
question to you is, and we've had this conversation with almost every season of television we've discussed in the last 2 years, is this is the episode where we pause the narrative of the show and we flash
Hmm.
back.
Hmm.
How do you feel about it this time? Did it change your perspective on things for the whole season, or do you wish we were back in the present?
Of course, there's part of me that just wants to see the sheep eye and just what immediately happens with that guy. But I will say this one did not bother me as I don't know if it bothered me at all. That it was a flashback, and that's interesting. I mean, I don't even notice if
I agree.
this is kind of the first point. I'm like, oh, yeah. I usually hate these episodes, but I didn't. And I think initially, I think there's a couple reasons. For one, it's diving into I would say one of the most interesting characters in the show, Morrow, and we're getting more of him and what makes him tick, and just like he actually seems like a real person now. You know what I mean? He doesn't just seem like an evil corporate stooge. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, like he was caught in a horrible system too, and he was trying to make the best decisions for his family, all this kind of stuff. So you empathize with him more, which it's always nice to empathize with your villains, even if I don't even know who the villain is in this whole show. Is it him? Is it Cavalier? Is it the aliens? Is it the crazy redheaded chick that's going to go bananas? The child person? I don't know. They're all bad. But I think so. So it gave me more good stuff. Good stuff about Morrow. It was absolutely freaking gorgeous. That was one of my first like when we were in that first episode, I was like, these sets, the room with all the lights and like the yellowish like off-white room with all the lights around them, gorgeous. Like I'm just like, I want that in my home. Like I just love that look. It's got that nice analog feel to it that just makes it feel straight from Alien 1 or Star Wars, And so it's absolutely gorgeous to look at. But I think the biggest thing might be this is a horror show, and they never turned off the horror for the flashback, right? And I feel like in sometimes other shows, it's like this is an action show, but no, for the flashback, it's a drama. Or this is a thriller show, and now for the background, and so it kind of loses like the point of it in trying to kind of give you this backstory. And because the horror was still like, that's what you're waiting on this whole episode. That's the tension. We know everything goes bad. When does it happen? In what order does it happen? And who caused it? Like, those are the questions. And then just how bad does it get? Like, what kind of shit goes down? You know, how do the aliens kill and infect and escape, and all these questions? Like, that's why you're watching an alien show. Like, partly at least, it's just all that icky, gooey, make your skin crawl because you can't imagine. You know what I mean? Like, and so we never lost that. And that was still the main thing. We didn't see what the eye does with the sheep, but now we know more about the eye. Now we know it's more intelligent. You know, it's interesting. I'm ranting. I'll let you go in just a second. That moment where the tick, I guess they're ticks, I guess, and it was hitting. First I was like, I thought it was trying to warn her, like to like gain trust. That was my first thing.
Too.
But apparently Noah Hawley has said in a podcast, no, he was trying to distract her from seeing the tick get out in order to cause chaos. Now I think I don't think that it's not clear that that's what he was doing. So I think there may be a little bit lost in like what he intended it to mean versus what it did mean. Either way, it showed intelligence, so it probably doesn't matter. But I think all of that stuff, watching the guy, I mean, like the ticks in the water bottle, you're just like glued to a water bottle for 2 scenes. Because like, who's going to drink it and when? Like, that kind of tension never left. That drove the episode. And so like, I'm still getting like what I want out of Alien, even though I'm not seeing the very next linear thing that happens from the last episode.
No, I think you nailed it on the head. I didn't really think about it that way, but you're right. Whenever we get these flashback kind of episodes like Last of Us or whatever the show is, it does feel like they slow it down in a way that doesn't mimic what people love about the show. And this being Alien, this is the most Alien episode of the season so far. Because the sets are almost identical in a lot of ways to the first movie and second movie in a lot of ways.
The title of the episode, did you notice it?
Yeah. No one can hear you or whatever.
In space, no one can hear you scream, which was the marketing tagline of Alien 1.
Well, I think it's like half the tagline is the title of the episode. It's like no one can hear or no one ... or something.
Oh, okay.
It's something weird like that.
Gotcha.
But you're correct. And you're right. To me, the fun thing about this episode was, great horror, especially when you're doing things where you know the outcome, is playing with audience expectations in terms of how it's going to go down. Because we all think, oh, she's fixing to drink the thing, but then she doesn't because something happens. And then it becomes this thing where you're watching her almost drink it during that, like the quote unquote lunch scene, the briefing scene. And it's actually the other guy who grabs it because he ate hot sauce. Stuff like that.
And even that moment, he starts choking. The music cues, you're like, oh, he's already being gotten by. Like, it is so brilliantly
it's
like
hot.
The beat analysis of this show, I feel like would be like a novel. Just to how often is it giving you a beat and then changing like in terms of like conflict, reaction, like it is constant. And I think that's why the horror works so well is because it's, even if it's never letting you off the hook in terms of tension, in terms of fearing what's going to happen next. I'm always afraid in a like a very, I can't wait to be afraid of what happens next, like in an anticipating way.
It's sad to me to hear you talk about how Noah Hawley commented on it just trying to distract her.
Now, listen, I just read that in a comment on a post, so maybe they were wrong. Maybe I was wrong. This is just what I read.
I was hoping, just because I like stuff like this, that it was like more benevolent. Like it was maybe it necessarily it likes humans, but it's like trying to stop these other things from doing whatever. And so it was like, it really didn't care about humans, but it really can't let these other things kill other things or something. And it was trying like even like it kind of would paint the context of the goat. Like it seems horrific to us, but it's like I need to do this so I can win against these other bad things. Which because I was trying to make it a hero. I was like, well, this is a hero.
And I
this
still
is a villain.
I still wonder if it will be like a pure villain in a way. Like I feel like its motives are more nuanced than just kill things like the
Sure.
alien is.
Well, it
And
does.
so,
It seems survival is its ultimate objective,
sure.
and then
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The moment where he's in the
the
face of the
guy's head.
dude and then he uses a tentacle to pull his lip up to make him snarl.
Dude, brilliant. That's brilliant. I never would have thought of that, and it makes me mad. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think
Yeah.
it's just the little things that this show is not missing on. And I think to a degree that what makes some of the online discussion so mind-boggling to me.
I don't. I'm
There's a
not plugged in on this for some
big
reason.
divide. I mean, I will say
I think 'cause I just don't care on this one. 'Cause I'm like,
that's
I
fine.
know it's good.
And you're probably doing the more right thing. I'm watching it at I'm not arguing with anyone. I'm just like, it's fascinating to me in a way. And I'll get to why.
Normally I care. Normally I care. Don't get me wrong.
So like
Normally I care.
on Reddit, and Reddit is like not a great sample size of the internet, but it's something. It's something. So on Reddit, there's like multiple alien subreddits. There's just r/alien, which is probably the first one, and then the bigger one that has more memey stuff is like LV246, r/LV246.
Good
That
name.
subreddit loves the show. I mean, the main television subreddit r/television loves the show. I mean, it's getting rave reviews. It's top of the streaming charts. I mean, it beat this show put Hulu above Netflix for the first time since they made Shogun, which was another fantastic show. You know what I mean? It's doing gangbusters. It is a certified success financially, critically, viewership wise. And yet there's this very staunch and again, it's probably a vocal minority, but a very staunch group that is like, this is destroying the franchise that I loved. Like, it's not even like, oh, this is missing the mark. It's that I'm realizing that Alien will never be again what I thought it was kind of comments. Like, and here's where I want to try to give some empathy, because I am this person with Star Trek. Okay? Like, when it comes to new Star Trek, I feel like it is
Worlds, right?
I feel like most of New Trek, outside of Lower Decks and maybe the last season of Picard, where they just went all in on fan service, is in some ways like an affront to what was good about Star Trek. Like it feels antithetical almost to like what Star Trek was about and the kind of stories they were telling and the kind of conversations they were trying to have. And Star Trek was always about having conversations, two opposing, seemingly logical viewpoints, and they bash, and how do you work it out? New Trek just preaches to you. New Trek is, don't be racist, don't be homophobic. It's not good. It's not nuanced. It's not intelligent conversations about these topics. It's just preaching. Hey, don't be this way. That's New Trek. Old Trek is, what happens if a world that doesn't allow, it's just like this, like, let's take these ideas of our society and put them in extremes and then examine them. That's not what New Trek, I mean, again, it's like repulsive to me. It's repulsive. And like, even so much that like when I see these press releases of like Alex Kurtzman, they call it Kurtzman Trek. Like, he's kind of the brainchild behind New Trek, right?
Yeah, I know.
And like the amount of times that they're posting things like, we're just having so much fun and the fans seem to love it. I'm just like they post with this confidence, like they're just nailing it. Like, we're just doing Star Trek. We're just bringing it back from the dead. We're keeping this on. And it's just like, even those kinds of tone, I'm just like it offends me. Like, as a Star Trek fan, I'm like, you're ruining it. And you think you're like saving it. Like, it's like this, like, it hurts me almost that, like, and I think this is what it is. It makes me feel a little more alone, because it makes me wonder, like, wait a minute. Am I the only person that watched Star Trek for this? Am I the only one that I watched the show for this? And maybe everyone else just wanted sexy aliens and like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you wonder, like, wait a minute, am I not a part of the group in a way? You know what I mean? And so I get it for these fans that it's like, and to me, Star Trek is an incredibly sentimental IP for me. Like, it is the top. Like, my dad showed me Star Trek. My dad watched. Like, I'm a Star Trek fan because of my dad, and like, my dad was a philosopher. My dad was a thinker. He was I guess like a scholar. And so like he loved the philosophical part was the reason we watched it. Yes, it was cool that they had touchscreens and aliens and phasers, but it was that was the meat. And so I have an incredibly like unfair attachment to old Trek, probably, in ways that like anyway. So I get you, Alien fans, that are having many strokes every time a new episode comes out, and it seems like everyone loves it, and you're just sitting here like scratching your head, like, what? I don't agree with you. I think the reasons, and I think even this is to me a critique to me. Maybe I'm wrong about New Trek, and it's just the blind. This isn't what I used to have as a kid, and this doesn't give me the warm feelings I had as a kid. That it blinds me to what's good about it. I'm not saying that's impossible. But at the end of the I don't know, I'm kind of rambling here, but like I just wanted to say, like, I see it and it boggles my mind, but I also get it because I'm kind of that way too with certain things. So that's my piece on it.
I got a couple things I got to say. One, this is truly real therapy. And then two, there's a guy named Robert Meyer Burnett, and he's someone that I've been following for a few years now. He does a show called Robservations, and he also is on the John Campea show. And when I watch and listen to him talk, I really value his opinion, and I think he's really intelligent. As you know, he's a filmmaker. He's done like a kind of like a Star Trek thing with William Shatner, a movie. I can't think of the name of it, but it got from what I remember, it got a lot of praise from the community. I need to send it to you. Um, but he is someone who is an avid Star Trek fan, and I hear him talk about this every now and then on John Campea's show. On his YouTube channel, he's much more vocal about it consistently, but he echoes the exact same sentiment as you do when it comes to Star Trek. You would love listening to him. I think he also was someone who did all the BTS on like the Next Generation DVD. Like he was the guy who worked on the team or run it or something like that. And he's done some other BTS stuff like Superman Returns, and I'm sure there's a slew of things that he's done that I don't know about. But he's someone that like I genuinely would love to sit down and talk to either on the podcast or in person professionally. And he seems like just a cool guy. He seems like the kind of guy that I would want to hang out with and talk shop, talk just nerdy things. And so you need to check him out, Robert Meyer Burnett. Maybe we can drop a link into his YouTube channel below. So you're not alone. First of all, you're not alone. When it comes to Star Trek. He watches every episode of Strange New Worlds, and he also is like cringes every night it airs. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he finds the strength. I'm just not strong enough to put myself through that.
it's okay. We're not all
I'm just
strong enough, Daniel.
my mental. I'm a little more fragile mentally, and I have to protect my depression, anxiety. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, I'm joking, but I'm also kind of like, this is the reason I don't watch shows that I can't get interested in because it starts making me be like, I'm wasting my life watching shit Star
Sure.
Trek. Those are the feelings
Sure.
I got. What could I be doing that's good and helpful versus watching
I would pay
shitty
you
Star Trek
money. I'd pay you money, Daniel, to do commentary on
live
the new
stream?
the Star Trek movie that dropped that was with a
Section 31. Oh my! Dude,
Yes.
I could go on a whole new rant about
I'd pay you.
why
I'd pay you for it.
the fact that they made that movie is antithetical to Star Trek's like identity. They made a cool action thriller out of like.
can-
Okay, I'm sorry. I want to do it. Sorry.
Well, we need to start doing bonus episodes where it's like you or I rant on something and people can kind of get something besides the topic of the episode. But yes, I would love to pay you money to watch that. And I get to watch you watch it. That's my entertainment. But I have to have commentary during it. I can't just watch you watch it. I need to hear
No,
it.
but here's the thing. It would probably be like 4 hours because I would have to like pause it and go on like soapboxes
That's fine.
probably.
That's fine. That's why I'm paying you, so I can hear what you're thinking. So anyway, yeah, and here's the interesting thing. Bringing it back to Alien Earth. In this episode, and the xenomorph, he's the face hugger, the chest burster. All these things are happening, like the normal, life cycle. And the xenomorph's at the end. I did find myself at the end of the episode when the xenomorph showed up. I don't know if it's the way they're kind of showcasing the alien, the xenomorph, or if it's just, because now he's like running on all fours, which I know Noah Hawley
Yeah.
said he preferred. It's a guy in a costume, except when he's like doing the crazy wall runs. But it's not as good as I think it could be. For some reason, I haven't really thought about it too much, but in the moment, and I'm finding myself way more interested in all the other
Sure.
aliens. And to me, the appeal of Alien, like a good chunk, 80% of it, growing up and still to
Mm-hmm.
this day, is the xenomorph. Even though I
Of
know
course.
the life cycle, even though I've seen it 1,000 times, I'm obsessed slash fascinated by the design of it, and I think it's a cool creature. So there's something about it I haven't figured out yet that's like I'm more interested in everything that's not the xenomorph so far this season.
Well, I think
Um,
the show is right now the xenomorph is a background element to the
sure.
show and to
Yeah.
the narratives and to just what's going on. And I think too something I've noticed, and I've kind of just it's something that Star Trek or Star Wars really has done in the last few years, which is like choose low-fi versions of creatures and effects because audience like it's the reason you get puppets on Star Wars still, even if a CGI might look better. Like there's been times when like I wish that had been CGI because the puppet really threw me out, even though that's like the nostalgia bait or the you
Well,
know what I
there was
mean?
a whole shift with the sequel trilogy of like we're doing it this way because fans will appreciate it more. So
Yeah, yeah, it was yes in direct response to the digital everything prequels. Yes, yes, yes.
yes, an
And so
overcorrection, as they say. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely, and they're still doing it. To me,
Yep.
that's how I've read. Like, because I agree, some of the alien stuff. Like, I feel like this episode sometimes, like, man, that just really looks like a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Um, but what I was reading that as was like an homage
To the
to the
first
early
movie.
movies. Like that. That
100%.
to me is like, okay, they're doing this with a purpose. It's to appeal to older fans that have this like, well, I don't like the way the CGI xenomorph moves or whatever it is. And I think, and so I can excuse it because I feel like, okay, I think he's doing this. It's not necessarily for me as a viewer, but he's doing this for a segment of viewers, and that doesn't bother me. It's not taking me out of it. It's
Yeah.
not. I still love the show, obviously.
Me too.
And
And
so
I'm
it's
a
like,
rabid Alien fan. Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm like, and I also kind of expect it to take more center stage as the show goes on.
I do too. I think at the very end, I keep expecting it to get into something that's not human, so it will look different. You know what I'm saying? A new
Yeah,
xenomorph. That's
yeah,
kind of the appeal. And you haven't seen Alien 3, which you need to watch it in Resurrection. But Alien 3, it gets into it, depending on which version you watch, the special edition or the regular edition, the theatrical. It's like either gets into like an ox or it gets into like a dog. They don't matter. The outcome doesn't matter, but what it gets into is different for whatever reason. But it's like it's why it runs on. It's thinner and it runs like on all fours,
mm,
and so it's got a different look than what we got in Alien One and Two.
gotcha.
My favorite. I mean, I do love the Alien Romulus. I kind of like it when the structure of the body is thinner and it
Sure.
feels more like a guy's not in a suit. But I think my favorite version of the aliens are in Aliens, the James Cameron's movie.
Mm,
And as Robert Meyer, I want Robert Meyer Burnett to be on the show. As
that'd
he
be
would
awesome.
say, Jimmy C does not miss, and he does it. James Cameron does not miss. And the design of the aliens in that, and of course, I have a huge hard on for the Alien Queen, and I love the designs for that. So I'm hoping we get an Alien Queen, maybe this not this
Mm,
season, the next season. That would be the dream, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm liking this show so far. Again, the horror was on point in terms of expectations. We obviously know that Boy Cavalier. I keep calling him Boy Genius all this podcast, but it's Boy
well,
Cavalier.
he keep.
I think
I
they
think
call. I think they
it's
call
his
him that thing.
nickname. Boy Genius is
Yeah,
his nickname.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Boy Cavalier, obviously, he's the one who, like, hey, let's knock this ship closer to home so we can kind of take
Sure.
over it. And, it's a fascinating look. It's also into the power structure of the corporations and the everyday
Yes.
man. We got a lot of that in Alien Romulus. We've got it in every single one of the Alien movies of like, there's this evil corporation is almost as bad as the aliens.
Hmm.
And it was cool seeing like, yeah, we're giving up 65 years of our life for one share that's worth apparently a lot of money or a twelfth
Right.
of a share or whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Absolutely. And I think I like that too. That is always an interesting wrinkle of Alien is this kind of corporate dystopia that
Yeah.
it's dealing with. So yeah, no, I mean I agree. I think I'm again I'm the show isn't missing for me at any of the levels. It's
Me
hitting
either.
on all the quadrants that I want it to hit on. And I'm excited. I mean, to me, and like, wow, this is probably the best horror TV show since one of Mike Flanagan's last ones. It may even be better than
man.
some of those. It is better than some of those. Maybe not all of them. He has some
The Haunting
really
of
good. Hill
is it
House
Hill House is
was the
like
first one.
it's perfection in terms of horror.
I also love the vampire one. Midnight
Midnight
Mass.
Mass. That's
That one
good.
was
Very good.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Very good. That one's good. I like Ply Manor. I haven't. There's
I
one
did
I
too.
haven't
It's
seen. I
not
think that
quite
was.
as good. It's
It's
not
not
quite as
quite
good.
as good. There's
Oh,
one I missed that I want to
the
see.
Fall of the House of Usher. It's good.
I haven't seen that one.
really good.
That's the kind of Edgar Allan Poe kind of inspired one, right? Like where it's kind
Yeah,
of
but it doesn't
gothic.
feel like it. It just feels like a horror story.
Okay, gotcha.
I think
I
he
could
is
be
like
wrong on that.
quoting some of the poem though. Like
Oh, okay.
the
I knew there was something.
he uses the
Or I
same
thought there was.
cast and like all he has his favorite act. It's just like James
Yeah.
Gunn, and it also like the really successful people usually just find people they like working with and don't work with other people because they're like,
Yeah,
why
that's
would
what
I
you
risk
do.
it? The energy's good, the chemistry's good,
That's
and
what
so
no
he
one
like
does. I get it.
yeah, and so yeah, it. But no, man, that was a good one. I was a little less just interested in the premise, just because it's like, okay, what is this going to be? Is it? But it's great. It's really good. It's got some amazing deaths in it that are like almost Saw-esque, but not like
Spoilers for Hill House. I think one of the greatest twists ever in horror is the
Bent
hanging
neck
of the
lady,
girl.
bent neck lady.
It's terrifying to watch as it's happening, and then also it's like an amazing revelation at the same time. You're like, holy
It's
shit!
it's
It's like it's
maybe
mind-boggling.
maybe one of the best twists in horror. Maybe I mean like
Top
the
five.
Sixth Sense, great twist. The Village, great twist. Even though I know some people don't like it, I liked it.
You just what? You just
Like The
well,
Village.
we were in agreement this whole episode, and you had to come in and fuck it up. That's what happens. All right,
Yeah.
go on.
Anyway, I think Bent Neck Lady might be the best twist in horror that I can remember. In terms of, I never saw it
Definitely modern
coming.
day.
I never saw it coming. It's horrifying.
It really is. It's actually
genuinely
scary.
like the idea of this happening to you.
It
is
makes me
like-
like I feel good, honestly.
Yeah, you don't
Right
know.
now.
It's like this. It's like, oh my god, the mental it. But then after it happens, you were hit by the brilliance of it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whoa! Like it's just.
Oh, I don't get the heebie-jeebies. I'm getting them right now thinking about this. 'Cause it's ugh.
It's one of the best payoff twist. Like it's one of those, like, again, the best twists are the ones that you should have seen or you could have seen the whole time. You could have put
Yeah.
it together. You didn't have it all. And yeah, man, that one is just.
It's brilliant.
It's almost worth
and it's
rewatching the
creative.
show just to get to that point,
It is.
man.
It's creative.
And I think it's the
man.
final episode. It's either the final or the penultimate episode.
I think it's the penultimate is what it is. 'Cause I think the episode ends with that, I believe. So
I think you're right. Yeah,
yeah.
because well, it opens with that, like her. Yeah. Anyway,
I watched that show. I think it was that show. I watched that in a haunted hotel.
the
It's
whole
haunted.
thing?
No, like probably the back
What,
half of it.
What hotel?
It was in Chicago. It was the original McDonald's training headquarters, and no one. It's not advertised as haunted. I'm just telling you it's haunted because of what I experienced at the hotel. So, and it's not because I was watching Hill
I
House.
thought we were like. What was that? It was like Alone, Afraid in the Dark. Those like old ABC family.
yeah.
It's been a month in the castle that's so haunted.
Yeah, that's another. That's a private conversation that our viewers can just fantasize
Another bonus
about.
episode that if you subscribe to our channel,
man.
like we're constantly asking you to, giving us 5-star reviews, all that kind of stuff. If you do that enough, maybe you'll get these bonus episodes that otherwise you'll never know what Donavon experienced at that hotel.
And you'll never know Daniel's thoughts on Star Trek.
Well,
You won't know as you'll never get to watch Sector 33 if you don't. Yeah,
31,
or what?
yeah.
31. Yeah.
Section 31.
Section. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. And of course,
Apologies.
before we go, what do I say? Before we go, we like to talk about something that may or may not be TV or movie related. Daniel, I had to think about it. Daniel.
Yeah. Mine is a book this time. I think it's the first time I've done a book. This is called This Is Your Brain on Music.
Oh, cool.
It is a book by Daniel J. Levitin. He is a neuroscientist and composer. So he is professionally both musician and neuroscientist. and it is fascinating. It talks about everything from like how music impacts people that have like ADHD and autism to how certain frequencies can make us feel certain things. Like it's just this analysis of like what happens to the brain when music starts playing, and it's fascinating how powerful music is. I mean, we've heard the stories of Alzheimer's patients. Their memories are gone, and you put a certain song on, and they're back for a minute. Like it's like they're back in that world. They're back where that happened, and they're cognizant in that moment even. And so like the music is activating a part of their brain that they can't normally turn on. Like there's just it's really fascinating. And as a musician, as an artist, like it's just fascinating because for one, it makes me feel like I'm learning the science of my craft more, and maybe I can use that to my advantage. Oh, if I know this frequency, maybe I can use that frequency like intentionally for some emotion, whatever. But I think just as like a person that's fascinated with just reality and how everything works, it's an inspiring book. I feel like it's like a book that you read and you're like, wow, like I need to listen to more music that's good for, like, you know what I mean? Like that I could be using music to more benefit my life in all these ways. And so this is your brain on music. There's a second one called, I've heard there was a magic chord, or I've heard there was a secret chord, and specifically about music and healing and just like music in its relation to healing. This one's more general, but I'm definitely going to get that one after this one. But yeah, this is your brain on music, Daniel J. Levitin.
That's great. That's a cool little thing. If you can, send me a link to it, and I will drop it in the description below the YouTube video.
Yes.
I can't remember if I talked about this one last week. I know I talked to you about it privately, and you can tell me if I did talk about it last week. It's Dexter Resurrection. Did we talk about this last week? Was that my before we go last week? I don't remember.
I don't either.
Even if it was,
I don't care. Give it to me again.
I binged the entire 9 episodes, 9 episodes. Maybe it's 9. Yeah, 9 over the weekend. Episode 10 comes out tonight, and if you're a Dexter fan, season 7 kind of left some things like a really, really bad taste in your mouth. One of the worst endings ever to a TV show, probably.
Wow.
And
where would you put it next to Game of Thrones? Which one's worse?
Dexter's worse.
Wow. Continue.
Yeah, Dexter's worse. And Dexter New Blood come out, and I really enjoyed it. I know not everyone liked it as much as I did, but I was like, oh, this is to me a return to Dexter. And also the ending I thought was apt for the character and for the direction they were going. It kind of felt like people were there was threads coming back that like haunted him, and like it kind of like it felt good.
Like it was almost like they were using the bad ending narratively in a way to like justify more in a way.
Part of it, yeah, and maybe more so with this season fix to talk about. But New Blood was definitely like, there was relationships in the past that this is kind of coming full circle for him, and obviously it retconned the end of season 7, season 8, Next Resurrection. I love it, dude. It's got Peter Dinklage. It's got Uma Thurman. It's got the guy he was like the crazy guy, the Joker. Like in List in The Dark Knight, who Harvey Dent gets him in the back of the vehicle and like flips a coin for him. That guy, the actor, he's great.
No,
in
yeah, Dash Lemaine or whatever. He's in Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He was Polka Dot Man. I should know his name. I keep forgetting it.
It's Dash. It's. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's something.
Yeah, no, but you're in the close ballpark though, and he is fantastic in this. And so you have all these really cool actors in it, and even some legacy characters from the original show coming back. And it's also what's fun about it is it's got like needle drops. It's shot cinematically. New Blood was shot cinematically too, but now New Blood was like it wasn't the Arctic, but it was like something where it just snows all the time. Maybe it's like somewhere where Fargo is. I don't remember. But this season's in New York. The show originally took place in Miami, so it was like Florida, beach, palm trees. But this one's like New York. And let me tell you the premise of this season real quick. If you don't know Dexter, or if you don't know Daniel, Dexter, he is a serial killer who goes only after people who kills other people, particularly other serial killers.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is a guy, he's like a philanthropist, like he helps with the fire department, the police department, all these kind of things. He's a guy who's obsessed with serial killers. So he has a banquet every year, and he like pays serial killers to come and be like part of a club. And he gets off on hearing how like their next kill, and like these are famous serial killers. and Dexter
Wait,
gets
well, are they like using real
famous.
life series?
No, no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no. And the real ones are mentioned in the show, like as
okay.
historically,
Yeah,
but these are like obviously created for the show,
okay.
and they're fun. They're like fun ideas.
Yeah,
And so Dexter, he ends up, because he has to kind of feed his demons, right? He has to feed that dark passenger. So he kills a guy he kills a guy who's a serial killer in New York, and finds this letter, and he impersonates him and attends this banquet. And so now he's basically, it's how he puts it. He's like, oh, an all you can eat buffet. So
yeah.
it's
I mean, it
like,
almost sounds like a Knives Out, like an opposite of like a Who Done It in a way. It's like they're all confined, but he's gonna try to kill them secretly in a way.
yes, yeah, it's
Yeah.
that, and there's other things going on too with his son that was tied from the last season. But dude, it's so fun, and
Mm,
Dexter has its own flavor of like dark comedy
yeah.
and just the vibe, and like a lot of it is in Michael C. Hall's like narration of Dexter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I binged the entire 9 episodes over the weekend. That's how much I loved it,
Wow.
and anyway, I'm so excited for tonight, the season finale. And if you like Dexter, those first 4 seasons are great.
Okay.
I like season 6 a lot. Season 5, something to be desired. Season 7 is a train wreck at the end. But man, and it also, I told you over the weekend, if you just want to start with like New Blood or Resurrection, you'd be good. Like you
That
really
see,
would be
that's
good.
I feel like Dexter is so up my alley in terms of tone, in terms of what it's about.
It's
Like it just
fun.
sounds
It's
great,
fun. It's
interesting, all that
weird
kind
and
of stuff.
fun.
But it is that like how much of the shit do I have to watch to get to the good stuff? I think what I need is there a version because I don't want. Can I just watch season 1 through 4, skip to New Blood, and then skip to
100%.
this one? Like, will I be like?
100%.
Would there be anything like? I mean,
No.
like, okay,
No. Everything in the big things they reference in New Blood and Resurrection are in the first 4 seasons.
okay,
Like
okay.
in season 4, spoilers, is one of the greatest TV twists of all time.
Mm,
And so for me, and
yeah,
my
okay.
jaw's on the floor. And also John Lithgow is the serial killer in
Yeah,
season
yeah, I
4.
knew
He's the
that. Yeah,
Trinity killer.
yeah, I remember
He's
that.
great. He's
I've seen like
great.
a clip of a scene from one that
Oh yeah.
them at the dinner table in one
Yeah, and
scene.
they're only like 10 episodes a season. You know what I'm saying? So you're not like, it's not a huge
Yeah,
investment.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean that may be. I mean, like Catherine and I are always find we have to like we have. It's the worst thing when you end a show and you don't have the
Yeah.
next thing ready. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's like it can be a vibe killer to the night of like, well, it may take us 30 minutes to find a show, and then by that time it's so late. Are we even going to watch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we always like to have like okay, well, what's after this? Or we're going to go to this. So I may try to convince her to maybe give Dexter a shot. If we can just do that kind of streamlined approach, I'm much more interested.
Yeah. Again, it's unique. I think if you stick with it, you'll really start to like it.
Awesome.
I normally don't do long before we goes, but I was pretty passionate and excited about this
Yeah.
finale coming up.
Love it.
So anyway, I'm glad we did it. Again, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@realtherapypod. And if you're on podcast services, please give us a review, 5 stars only. The algorithm will not let you leave anything less than 5 stars. And it means the
And
world to
don't
us,
even
and we really
try it. Like
appreciate it.
it'll
Yeah.
dox you if you try it automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't even try to test the system. So
I think it costs money if you start doing less than 5 stars. Like for some
yeah,
reason, it's linked to your bank account and it just starts like docking you or some
yeah,
reason.
and it's all legal, so don't question it.
All legal. Anyway, my name is Donovan Thompson,
I'm Daniel Wingfield.
and we have. Oh, I was doing the end of podcast 2 for 1. Oh man, oh man, you guys, you real therapy fans, you just got a taste of the old right then. All right, my name is Donovan Thompson,
I'm Daniel Wingfield.
and we'll see you at your next session.
Real Therapy is brought to you by 241 Studios and viewers like you. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to tune in every Friday at 3 p.m. for a new session with Daniel and Donovan. And remember,
They're gonna talk about how it makes them feel. They're gonna watch all the movie reels, 'cause it's Dan and Don in Real Therapy.